Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Supercars in London on my final night here in the south of France, and myself and Sam are heading down to Monaco for a dinner, but also to see what we can find before tomorrow morning. I'm up incredibly early because I've got a 12-hour drive from here all the way back to Calais, hopping on a train and then heading all the way back to Hertfordshire. So it is going to be a long 24 hours, and this vlog is going to capture everything. Nothing like a spot of window shopping in Monaco post-dinner. But the difference being, you can see these cars in the showroom and then turn left and see the majority of them parked up as the owners have taken them out for dinner. So myself and Sam are now going to be on foot trying to find... Is Sam going to scare me somewhere? I feel like he's going to pop out somewhere. I've completely lost him, but we've got an SLS Roadster, F8 Tributo, a beautiful Assetto Fiorano SF90, an M3, and then a 992 Turbo with the G-Wagon there. Oh, Sam's taking photos of all of the Ferraris. And a Brabus. But this SF90 is sick. Carbon wheels and right up my street. Look at the Twizy.
Oh, proper wheels on that thing.
You make a very good point about this car. I thought this was the SF90 that I saw a few days ago.
Which was?
An Assetto Fiorano, but it had the stripe.
Oh yeah, this is, I'm fairly sure, this is an Assetto Fiorano car without the stripe, but it could just be a standard car
Yeah.
with
all of the carbon?
All the carbon and the carbon wheels, which would be weird.
But it's got the extended carbon lip at the rear.
You couldn't option that?
I don't. Maybe, but I suppose maybe he could have gone to Mansory.
No, it's not Mansory. It's just classy.
Now, over the last couple of days, we've seen a few pretty spectacular cars and not been able to
concentrating.
Not been able to capture them on camera. 992 GT3 RS being one of them, and this being another. We were leaving Monaco, heading back up to the apartment when we saw this in traffic. We didn't have our cameras out. This will do as a Monaco daily. All black, no SV on the side that I can see. And then you've got some really nice electric green details, brake calipers. Is this satin carbon? This is the ultimate Batmobile. I can imagine quite hard work around some of the Monaco streets. So much so that Sam is absolutely not interested because he's over there doing circles, walking around, yawning. So there we go. Aventador SV Roadster, rather special. Probably a really good way to finish the night, unless we jump in the Range Rover and see some other stuff. Thoughts, Sam?
I mean, quite outrageous, that situation.
Good afternoon, you join me somewhere in the middle of France. I have no idea where, but I'm at a service station about to head in, grab some food. As comfy as this car is, the time is now 1:20 in the afternoon, and I left Ayres at 7 AM this morning. What I want to try and do in this video and for the next stretch of the road up to Calais is talk about the costs associated to a week in Monaco. Can you still do a budget road trip down to Monaco? Forget the car, I'm going to be talking about the tolls, the Eurotunnel, and I'll give you a little apartment tour of where I stayed for the week. Actually, here it is now. Let's start in the living space where we've got a self-contained kitchen. Everything in here is open plan. We've got a chilled area where we can sit down. This is where Sam and I recorded a couple of podcast episodes, and it's just nice to chill, whilst the TV here is not the biggest, I've not turned it on once because, well, firstly, what's the point? But secondly, I am so busy out here filming as much as possible that if I get 5-10 minutes, I'm out here on the terrace, which, as you can see, is rather large and has a pretty good view. Now, I'm on the first floor. It goes down one more, and then the car park is on the bottom. Everything is built into the cliff. But again, a really nice space if you just want to come outside, chill. It's a little bit echoey. Hopefully the microphone hasn't picked that up. But a really, really nice place. And then you've got all of the old village up there on the rock. And then to the left is bedroom number 1. So you have all of this space. If you really wanted to, you could go and do a food shop in the supermarket, fill the fridge. You've got an oven, or at least a hob. You've got a microwave up here, which again, I've not looked at. Yeah, so it's got a cooker, a microwave, and everything built in to there. And then this is where it starts getting interesting. So through here is like the main bedroom and also the bathroom, which I will show you. Voila. So you've got a pretty nice shower, sink, mirror, lights back off. It does get a little bit dark because obviously there's no natural light that comes and creeps in. And then you've got the main bedroom here, which again, everything is super simple, super basic, but you've got loads of built-in wardrobe space there, a double bed. I obviously dump all of my clothes here because what's the point? You're only going to be here for a few nights. I'm here for 7 nights, I think, 6 or 7 nights. And then this is where it gets a little bit darker because all of the natural light is at the back. So here's the other bedroom. This is the other bedroom, which has no windows, has a small single bed, but then a little bit of built-in wardrobe space there. And then round the front here is where the toilet is. So all in all, got a little bit more storage space here. Things like an ironing board, clothes hangers, so you can kind of do your washing if you want to. Do I have a washing machine? Surely not. Got dishwasher, bin, cupboard space. This is the fridge. No, so maybe I don't have like a washing machine. Oh no, there is. There's a communal washing machine outside. There are a load of apartments in this block. It's an apart hotel, and then all the way around to the left you've got a swimming pool and terrace area. So yeah, a really nice basic space. And for the price, you're only 10-15 minutes away from Monaco. I mean, it's pretty hard to beat. I think a really easy place for me to come, use it as a bed. I could have had Seb stay here. I could have had everyone pile in. It would have been a really easy thing to facilitate. But for someone just me in this space, it's a pretty good place when you're only 10 minutes away from Monaco in that direction over there. Here we go. We are blazing through central France somewhere. Pretty sure we aren't too far off from where I stopped on the way down to Geneva. And according to Google Maps, I've only got about 5.5 hours to go before I get to Calais. And again, I find this so easy. I even struggled in the Nissan GTR, definitely struggled in the Gallardo, and I'm trying to think whether I've done this trip all in one go in any other car. Maybe the C63 Coupe. This is definitely, hands down, the easiest. But as you saw, from my 2-bed, self-catering apartment, 10 minutes from Monaco, with free parking, a communal swimming pool, which I didn't film because there was a lot of people sunbathing almost every single day. There was also a terrace. It was the perfect setup for what I needed. I needed a bed, I needed some, what was that? A McLaren 600 LT, but like a really lilac purple. Looked amazing in the sun. I've lost track where I was. The 2 things that you have to consider, 3 things you have to consider: the Eurotunnel or ferry to get across from the UK into France, the toll pay, as in paying toll stations to travel through the whole of France, which is expensive, but then you get these beautiful smooth tarmac roads. And then finally, fuel. So I think all in, my calculation is I'm probably doing 1,100 quid on driving the R8 down. That's around £300 on the Eurotunnel, because I booked it quite late. Then there's the fuel, which I reckon is around 4.5, maybe 5 tanks of fuel. And that's the best part of 400 quid, 500 quid. Then you have the tolls, which at the moment, I'm currently sort of halfway through my journey, and I've done the best part of 70 euros, 60 or 70 euros, paying each time. So I would budget, if you're going to drive down from the UK, forget this thirsty V10. I think if you're going to drive down from the UK, and let's not forget that I did go via Geneva, so you can just drive straight down. It's not very fun, but you can. I would budget between 700 and £1,000 to do the drive, because then every time you're stopping off in the petrol stations, you're probably picking up the odd snack, bottles of water. I had to buy a USB cable for my charger for my phone. So 700 to £1,000. It's extortionate when I could have got a flight down to Nice for 50 quid. I paid £1,200 for myself to stay in that self-catering 2-bedroom apartment that had a balcony, a terrace, a pool. Like, it really was everything that you needed. So if you think you go down there with your partner, if you go down there with a couple of mates, let's say there's 3 of you, you could split that 1,200 quid, 400 quid each. And then here's what I would do, because you do need a car if you're staying up 10 minutes away from Monaco. You can either stay in Nice and then get the train to and from, but I would highly recommend you fly down, because flights, if you book them well in advance, can cost you anywhere between 40 to 60, 70 quid. Hire a car. The cheapest that I found, just using the travel websites that I use, was around £270 for a week in May. So that is kind of last minute. I reckon you could get that cheaper as well. So you could then go and say, right, 50 quid for the flights, 300 quid for a rental car, split between 3 people, £100 each. So you're doing 150 quid and you're already in the south of France with a car. Then you go and stay in the apartment that I stayed in. I will leave the link in the description below, because whilst they're not paying me, it is a great recommendation if you're looking to go and experience Monaco. So you're paying 400 quid for the accommodation, 150 quid for a car and the flights down. So you're at 550 quid for a week in Monaco. And then all you need to do is figure out the fuel, which is going to be barely anything. You won't have to pay any tolls because you don't go on a motorway from Aires down into Monaco. So you scrap the Eurotunnel, you scrap the tolls, you scrap a lot of the fuel costs, and then all you need to consider is food and drink, which, yes, it's a little bit more expensive in Monaco than it would be down anywhere else in the south of France, but it's kind of like London prices, is the best way that I can describe it. And then here's the tip: if you are coming in the evening, park your car up in the casino car park, which is underneath the casino little courtyard area, and you'll pay €1.60, €2 for parking for 4 or 5 hours for the whole evening. Yesterday, when me and Sam took the Range Rover down, we parked right next to, or right at the entrance to the tunnel. It's a really nice new car park. We put the Range Rover in there. We parked up at about 8:30 and we left at about 11. It cost me 70 cents. 70 cents. The parking is so cheap in Monaco in the evenings that it is the best way that you can do it. You can drive around during the day, you can do a few laps, park up, you're probably going to spend 7 to 15 euros depending on how long you're going to be staying in the car park, and then in the evening come back out, go up, have dinner up in the hills, and then come back down to get a sense of the atmosphere. The yachts are arriving, and you could do it for so cheap. You could do it for 600 quid, 700 quid for an entire week in the south of France and Monaco. Thank you so much for watching, tuning into this adventure. We have got so much stuff coming up that I cannot wait to share. Things going on with my golf, things going on with this car during the summer. We have got all of the UK activities, Goodwood Festival of Speed, Silverstone Grand Prix, the British Grand Prix, and before all of that, I'm also going to be going to California. for 2 weeks. So there's going to be a load of content to come from that, and I'm going to Le Mans. It is a crazy time, and I cannot wait to bring you for the ride too. I'll see you soon, guys. Take care. Goodbye.